All right, so let's say we have string 1 over here. Now we want to see how we can use data structures with loops as well, right? So first of all, we'll go with the while loop, and then we'll also see how for loop works um, with the data structures, right? Okay. So let's say I have a variable called index that starts from 0. The thing is, the goal is to print each and every character of this string individually, right? We can do it like this as well. Let's say str1 of 0, and then str1 of 1, and so on and so forth, which is quite dumb way to do, right? So let me just remove it so that no one else can see what we were thinking of doing. So what I want to do is I want to iterate over this whole string data structure. So I'll say while idx, which is the index, is less than what? How many characters are there, right? We have 10 characters, right? So I'll write 10 over here. For now, I'll write 10. There is a better way to do it. I'll let you know how to do that in a minute. So while idx is less than 10, what do I want is I simply want to print string str1 of idx. Sorry, idx. Now remember, str1 is the blue eyes, the whole complete string. And if I say something like one of 0, if I say something like this, then it gets me b. Okay. Now remember, what is the value of idx for first iteration? It is 0. So ultimately, it will be translated into exactly this kind of a string, and it will get me b. Then what I will do is I'll say idx plus plus, right? So idx will be incremented. Now you might be wondering that what is this plus plus? So plus plus means idx is equals to idx plus 1. Another notation to increment the idx, right? Or you can also say, if you're confused, you can also say plus equals to 1. That is exactly same. But let's learn a new thing, which is idx plus plus. So in second iteration, it is going to be idx will become 1 because previously it was 0, so it will become 1. Now the same string is going to be translated, the same expression is going to be translated like this. Why? Because idx value is 1. And this thing will go on and on and on until idx 9, because when idx will become 10, the whole structure will be, the whole loop will be completed. So if I run it, it gives me an error. And okay, so plus plus thing is not available in this version of Python. So yeah, we can use it plus equals to 1 like this. Here we go. So it says b, and then since we are using print statement, so it adds new line character after every execution. So b, then new line, then l, then new line, which means that after every iteration, we have a new character. We can also do something like this as well. I'll say character number. So we'll add the character number as well, right? So character number what? Character number idx. Since idx is 0, so I'll say idx plus 1 so that it shows some realistic characters. So let me format it. Okay, is, and then this should be like that. Okay, so if I run it, here we go. So character number 1 is b, character number 2 is l, and if I remove this plus 1 from here, then it will be like character number 0 is b, character number 1 is this, and so on and so forth. So we can use while loop for iterating over the string as well. You might be wondering that what is the use of iterating over a string. So for example, if there is a task that you have to count how many characters, how many times e, let's say this e, where's e? Yeah, how many times this e is appeared inside this particular string. If this is a task, how would you do that? You will iterate over the whole string, and then here, somewhere over there, you will write an if statement, and you will say if this particular expression, str1 of index, is e, then some counter is going to be plus plus or something like that, right? Okay, So let's go ahead and do the same thing by using for loop as well, right? So we have str1 over here, and then what we're going to do is we'll say for value in, remember for and in, okay? And then here I'll write the variable name, the string name, okay? And then colon. This is the syntax of for loop. Now, what will be this value, controlling variable? Remember previously, this controlling variable used to be the value of range operation, range function, right? But now instead of range function, we have this complete data structure. So now in every iteration, this value is going to be each value of the index of particular data structure. Well, if it is not clear, if I say print value, here we go. We got the same thing in much less efforts. Here, we don't have to mention how many times we want to execute this loop because it will automatically end when the data structure values will be completed. We don't have to add any increment over here. We don't have to do a lot of things that we were doing in this while loop. Okay, so whenever working on some problem related to data structures, it is always advised to use for loop. But when you're working on some other kind of a task where counting is important, where a lot of customization is required inside the loop, a lot of different kind of you can say increments are required, then you should use while loop, right? Okay. Now before we end it, oh, where is the assignment? Yeah, here is it. Here is it. So we have an assignment. You have to count how many times character E are there in the following string. So here is the string. Please make sure the lower and uppercase letters should be exactly like that. Every morning, every starts with capital E. Every morning brings new opportunities, right? So let's see if we can do it or not.